Hello, my name is Betty Hastings. Now, when I was young, my parents thought that I was mentally retarded. This was a long time ago. They didn't know about deafness then. And a friend who lived in Duluth saw the way I acted. I often hid behind my mother. She had a daughter who was deaf. And let's see, I think her name was Sally, and the daughter's name was Marg. Sally said to Marg she thought maybe I was deaf and that they should go and visit my mother. So they stopped by. I hid under the table. Sally told my mother, "I think your daughter's deaf." My mother was sure no, I was just mentally retarded. But Sally said no, she was sure I was deaf. She gave my mother the address of the School for the Deaf in Faribault. So they sent me there, but oh, I didn't want to go. I cried and cried. But when I got there and saw everybody signing, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen sign before. The first signs I learned were about food. At the dining room, I would reach for something or point to something, and they would gently slap my hand and say, "This is the sign for potato, please." If I'd point to something else, they'd teach me the sign for that plus the sign for please. The next group of signs I learned from playing outside. We were playing house, and the other kids taught me the signs for mother, father, brother, sister, so that we could play house. I caught on pretty quickly, and they taught me everything I needed out there on the playground, boy, girl, all of that kind of thing. In the classroom, we didn't sign. It was an oral program. We had to speak and lip read. They used the blackboard, but outside, we could sign. Oh, I loved it there. I roller skated, I did tumbling, played baseball. Oh, let's see. We stayed there for, let's see, from the time I was 8 until I was 16. And then I had to leave home. Oh, I mean, had to leave the school for personal reasons. I was home for 2 years and I decided to get my GED. I finished that in 4 years. Then I went to college. I was only able to stay 2.5 years. We just didn't have the money for it. Later, I became a teacher of sign language. I did that for 28 years. I so enjoyed it. I loved teaching signs. But some of the new signs kept coming up, and of course I had all my old sign for car or hospital, but all these new signs kept appearing, and it was so hard for me. I liked my old signs, the ones I had first learned. It's hard to break those kinds of habits, but what can you do? You can't criticize people for the way the language changes. I was married for almost 50 years. My husband passed away. I think he'd be happy with the way it worked out for him because he was very afraid of becoming blind and he died before that could happen. But for me, I feel lost without him. He was a wonderful cook. Oh, just wonderful. I miss that. I was good at the household things, carpentry, painting, and he didn't like that. Well, he was good at cooking, and I didn't like that. Well, we had two children, two girls, and when they were young, oh, you remember the story about George Washington and the cherry tree? That he chopped it down and couldn't tell a lie about having done so. Well, I had my own version. I came home one day with a jar of cherries because I was going to bake cherry bread, and I told the girls not to touch the cherries, and they said they wouldn't. Well, about 2 weeks later, I was ready to make the bread. I baked on Mondays. But the cherries were gone. All that was left in the jar was the juice. So I had to change my plans. Instead, I made some banana nut bread that day. And then I baked my pies. I always made 5 pies, one for every person, their favorite. My husband liked apple, one daughter liked lemon, and the other liked cream pie, I think. My favorite was coconut cream pie. So I used to bake a pie for each of us on Mondays. Well, not every Monday, but every 2 weeks or so. Anyway, when the girls came home from school, I said to them, now be honest with me. Which one of you ate the cherries? And they both denied it. Well, what was I going to do? I couldn't punish both of them because I didn't know which one had really done it. So I told them to forget it. And then I waited a month when I knew they probably had forgotten it. And I came home from work and told the girls that I had brought home a box of candy. They wanted it right away, but I said no, they had to eat their supper first. And then when they were finished, I said they had to wash and dry the dishes and put them all away, which they did. And then I sat down on the couch with my husband and got out the box. So I opened it up and handed the candy to the girls. My oldest daughter was wonderful, put it in her mouth right away. The youngest daughter took one look at it and said, I can't eat that. I said, why? She said, I think cherries make me sick. Oh, that was it. I knew she was the one that had eaten all the cherries. I mean, I wasn't going to punish her because the poor thing, at least I knew who'd done it. She cried, she apologized, and I said, that's okay, I'm not going to punish you now. I think not having candy is probably enough punishment. Let's see, the next time was on a Sunday, I think. My husband and I were getting ready for church, and I bathed and dressed the girls first and told them to sit and wait for me. Oh, they were wearing these bright yellow dresses, I remember. So we went upstairs to change. And by the time I got back down, one of them was missing, Julie. And when I asked her sister, she said Julie had gone outside. I thought, oh, not again. I went out, I called for her, and she didn't come. I asked the neighbors, and she didn't come. I could not find her. Then the neighbor across the street said they heard something strange in their cellar. And they went down and found my daughter in the cellar. It turns out she had slid down there, down the old coal chute that they had, and then gotten stuck and was banging on the door trying to get out. Well, of course, she was black from head to foot, just filthy. So I just can't believe what a waste of my time this is, I told her. I had to take her in, bathe her, change her. Oh, and then the next time I knew better. My husband and I got dressed first, and we dressed the girls later. Oh, what a waste of my time. Oh my. Let's see. Oh, there's another story. It's with Julie again. Julie really wanted a bicycle, and I told her that she was too young to have a bicycle. She insisted she knew how to ride a bike, and I told her no. Well, she decided on her own to borrow a bike from a girlfriend of hers, and of course couldn't stop as she was racing down the hill, and she ran smack into a garage. Oh, she was all banged up. She came limping back home, and I said to her, look at that, you destroyed your friend's bike for nothing. She said she thought it was going to be fun. I said, well, look what happened. I hope you learned your lesson. It seems like you should have listened to me in the first place. Later, let's see, there's another time where Julie, again, Julie, somehow this never happened with my oldest. Anyway, my youngest girl, Julie, came and said her arm really hurt. She could barely move it. So we wrapped it up, and I said, well, maybe we should go to the hospital because it might be broken. So I brought her down to the hospital to see the doctor. And then when the doctor said, okay, we need to unwrap that arm, Julie immediately did so by swinging her arm around and around until the wrapper came undone. She wasn't hurt at all. She had completely fooled me. Oh, that girl. I think that's all I have to say.